What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another great video with Everything Avon. If you guys are following me from last week's video, as you already know, we have a whole bunch of mods, a whole bunch of stuff for my 2015 GTR. Today is just jumping into the next set, the next project for the GTR. We're actually going to be tackling, hopefully, these two large boxes today. We'll save those for another video. You guys already probably know by the thumbnail, but nonetheless, we are going to be getting rid of the stock dark gray side skirts and front lip. And this is one of the mods that I've been wanting to do for this car for quite a while. There was a small little ding or rip from the previous owner here. So yeah, we're finally getting rid of it. And not only are we getting rid of it, we are starting our carbon fiber journey for this car. Carbon fiber? Already got the vehicle up on some jack stands. We'll tackle the front first. We got our trusty dusty service manual out. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of bolts for the front lip. So I'll kind of show you from underneath the vehicle. I'll probably post a picture of this up so you guys kind of see where all the bolts are. Probably about 12 10mm bolts, and for sure there's like two 12mm bolts, some other clips, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff. Alright guys, so now that you're underneath the vehicle, the front of the vehicle, first things first, we're going to take off all these little rubber grommets. They cover up the bolts that are kind of up recessed into here. These are all 10mm bolts in the first part. But yeah, first things first, take off all these guys. So before we go to the bolts, I'm actually going to take off all the little Nissan clips, I call them. You'll see them along the outer edge, kind of like towards the back of the vehicle. Most of the time these break on me, to be honest. So I have a giant pack over there, just in case they do break. I got the right tool for the job, but yeah, these things are just not made to be taken off and put back on multiple times. Yeah, go ahead and take these clips off. At least there's 3 or 4 on this side. Looks like there's 2 more here towards the back middle, and then that means there's going to be another 3 or 4 on the passenger side. So let me go ahead and skip ahead, take these off, and we'll move on. Alright guys, now that you got all the underneath bolts done, there's 2 more over here on the side. Kind of got to access them from the front of the wheel. They're on the last part of your bumper. Again, I'll highlight those in a little diagram picture. But those are the last 2 bolts you need. I have my creeper supporting the front so it doesn't fall off once I get these bolts off. Yeah, go ahead and take these last 2 off and we should be ready to pull. Those 2 are off. So now, I should be able to move the creeper. And we should now be able to give it a good tug forwards towards the front of the vehicle. It should come off. It came off super easy. So yeah, if it doesn't come off super duper easy, then that means you probably still have a bolt left. Alright guys, so now over at the carpet, you can get a better look at your front lip and the under assembly. It's all one piece. Actual front lip, it's riveted to this larger portion here. There's a few rivets or several rivets that go all the way down the side or the front of the vehicle. Same thing on the bottom. If we flip it over, you'll see that there's also rivets along the bottom. These ones are a little scraped. As you can see, there's several all the way down. Don't have to worry about one rivet, but I'm gonna go ahead and drill these out. I'm gonna measure, see what size drill I need to drill these out without making the hole too big. But let's get going. Alright, so with the bottom ones out, I wanted to point out a little technique that I noticed as I was going along down. First things first, of course, you drill out the core of the rivet. I was holding the rivet in place with my little pry bar here. I'm pushing down on top just so it didn't move, and then when I could get a little bit of room underneath, I'd go underneath and hold from the bottom and kind of apply a little bit of pressure up. After you got the core drilled out, I would bring the drill bit up to like the top part of the rivet just underneath the flange, and I would kind of twist it around, if you could see in the time lapse there. And essentially what that did was to kind of separate the flange from the topmost part of the core. That actually prevented much damage to the actual surface as you're pulling the rivet out. Your holes underneath will be nice and straight, and you won't have to put large rivets in there. So now flip it over to the other side and let's get that going. Well guys, before I wanted to take off that front lip, I wanted to take out the new one. And here it is, as you can see, all beautiful carbon fiber front lip with these nice flanges that kind of stick out. It looks like the bottom side indeed does have rivet holes already pre-drilled. The top side, same thing. Looks like they're ready to go. So go ahead and pop off your old lip. Should come right off now that all the rivets are gone. There we go. A whole bunch of metal inside here, so I'm gonna be kind of careful. All kinds of metal particulates. So let me take it over here. So as you know, since we took out rivets, that means we're gonna have to reinstall rivets. So I actually purchased this kit off of Amazon. I'll put the link down below. It is an affiliated link, so if you guys do purchase from my link, I do receive a commission, and I say thank you. You guys can see we're gonna be using this side. These are 3/16 large flange rivets. The large flange is extremely important. Essentially what that means is that flat top part, the part that's actually going to sit and hold itself against the lip and against the bumper. You want the large flange so that it's a good secure hold and it won't pull through. I have multiple sizes. I have 1 inch deep, 3/4, half an inch. There's a total of 13 on top, and I believe it's 11 on bottom, so we have more than 20. I want to use the 3/4 inches, but again, I only have 20 of them, so I'm probably going to use 3/4 inches, and then whatever's left over, I'll put the 1/2 inch ones. Also, of course, you'll need your rivet gun. This is just one I bought from Ace Hardware. So let me get lined up. I'm actually going to have to probably drill out some of these holes. They are definitely designed for 3/16. Like this hole is perfect, and I didn't have to do anything with it. But then there's some other holes that are not quite fully drilled out. For your rivet gun, if you don't know how to rivet, you got to make sure you have the right head. There's different diameters. You got to just kind of check them, make sure you fit, but not too loose. So this one here is the one. And essentially, you're going to push this into the hole. Make sure you're all the way at the bottom, and you're going to start cranking away. And when that pulls up, it's going to cause this black bottom portion to pop out, which will grab from the bottom. And after you get to a certain tension, it'll actually just pop off and cut itself off the top. Alright guys, so top side is done. Simply we're going to flip it over and do the bottom. I'm not going to film that part just because it's the same procedure. Probably just going to have to drill out holes. Looks like they're already there, but just in case they don't line up, I'll probably drill out some holes. So we'll see what happens. Sorry about this guys, my mic actually was messing up at this point, but nonetheless, just kind of fast forwarding through what we're doing at this moment. We're putting the lip back on the whole assembly. You simply just gotta slide it back in, make sure there's notches, make contact with the holes in the back side, right where the axles are for your vehicle, and then you're just going to simply install all the 18 10mm bolts and then the 2 12mm bolts. I'll put this picture back up so you guys can remember. This is where all the bolt locations are. I do like to torque my bolts correctly. You'll torque all of the 10mm bolts to 62 inch-pounds, and then you'll do the 2 12mm bolts to about 16 foot-pounds. Once you have them all set in place, good to go, you're pretty much done with this project. So just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now completed with this install, and it looks great. You will need probably more clips because I destroyed all of them in the process. Once again, I'll put a little affiliated link below where you can find those Nissan clips. And then these guys here, which normally go up into the little holes that we took off, they didn't really fit in the holes on the new lip because they're just a little bit too big, and I didn't want to try to drill any holes. But nonetheless, here it is guys, the new carbon fiber front splitter front lip. We'll get it out in the sun probably tomorrow. It's kind of a rainy day today, so you won't really see it good. So if you guys have followed me from last week's video with the gear shift, we are continuing this guy. Next up, it's going to be actually the side skirts here in this long tall box. So be sure you guys stay tuned. We got more packages coming in. Once again, everybody, thank you for watching the video with Everything Avon. I'll see y'all next week. Let's see what else we're going to be doing with the GTR. Peace.